Hey guys, welcome back to Cube Studios. In today's tutorial, I will show you step by step how I created this perfume art design in Photoshop. I will break down the entire design process, explaining every technique, effect, and creative decision so you can follow along and create the same professional look from scratch. Let's jump right into it. If you are new here, subscribe to Cube Studios. Turn on post notifications and like this video. Now let's get started. Okay guys, so first and foremost we're gonna create a new artboard. So with this I'll go with 1080 pixels as the width and 1350 pixels as the height. Then I'm gonna leave the resolution at 120. So now that our artboard is created, I'm going to head into my resource folder and then select and drag this image to create our background. Okay, so now that I have our background image in place, I'm going to select it and then click on this adjustment layer icon here and then bring in the color balance adjustment layer. I'm gonna create a clip mask. I just want to change the look and feel of the background image, so I'm just going to play around with the sliders here. So with the mid-tones, I'm just going to be playing around with the sliders just to achieve something a bit cinematic. Feel free to do it how you also feel, yeah, but I'm just going to go with something like this. Okay, so I'm satisfied with how it's looking now. Alright, so now that I have this in place, I'll head back into my resource folder and then select this rock image and drag and drop it on top of it. I'm going to position it in the place of my satisfaction. Fine. Okay, now I'm going to blend the rock image to the background so it looks like a complete an image that is both together, like a complete image. Yes. So with the rock selected, I'll then click on the mask icon here to create a mask around it, and then pick my brush tool and then change the flow to like 50 and then zoom in, try and blend the edges into the background so it looks perfect. So it doesn't look like the rock image is just sitting on top of the background image. Yes, so it blends well inside here. Okay, I think I'm okay with how it's looking now. Alright, so with this done, to push it further, I'll head into my adjustment layer panel here and then select the color balance and then create a clip mask and then play around with the sliders here. Since the background has something like a green feel, we're gonna head more towards the green color or the green tones here, so it blends with it well. Okay, so when I toggle it on and off, you could see the difference. Okay, to further push it, Then head into my adjustment layer panel here, and then bring in the exposure adjustment layer, and then create a clip mask. Then try to dim it a bit. I think it's okay. Okay, so what I'm trying to achieve here is since the light is falling behind the rock, surely going to be some shadows casted around the stone or on the stone. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So with the my adjustment layer selected, and then with the layer mask selected, I'll pick up my brush tool and then tone down the flow to like 40, and then zoom in, and then brush out this part of the rock, since the light behind will be casting on top of that side. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So we're gonna brush on top of it nicely like this. Yes. I'll try then adjust the intensity of the shadow a bit. I'll just push it down to like 3. I think this is fine now. So I'll zoom out, and then you can see the difference now. Okay, so to further push it, then I'll create a new layer, and then clip mask it, and then pick my brush tool, and then I drop our color pick the light color or the highlight, and then change the flow to like 75, and then zoom in, and then try and create that light that is falling behind or on top of the rock here. So that's the effect I'm trying to create now. Okay, so I'm going to change the blending option to linear dodge. Yes, so this is it. So it's like that. Yes. So now we could see the difference now. So you could see the rock blending nice to the background, and also having the light casted on top of the rock nicely. And now that we have achieved this, I'll put all of them in one folder and then name it background. And then lock it in place so it doesn't move. I'll then head back to the resource folder and then drag and drop the perfume product on top here. Okay, so I have it in place. Just as we did for the rock, I'm going to do the same for the perfume image too. So I'll head to my layer adjustment panel and then select the solid color. I create clip mask it, and then try then color pick dark tones of the background, so something like this. I think it's fine. Do something like this. Then I'm gonna change this thing to soft light, and then tone down the fill to like 45. I think this is fine. So it blends nicely with the background. So it doesn't look like the image is just sitting on top of the background. Yes. I also I'll go to my adjustment layer panel, and then select the exposure adjustment layer, create a clip mask and then tone it down to create a shadow. So I'm gonna tone it down to like 1.20. I think this is fine. And then I'm going to select the layer mask and then pick my brush tool and then try it and create where the highlights will cast on the perfume. So I'm gonna be paint gently at the edges of the perfume image. Gentle, do that gently. Okay, so with that done, I'll then try to create a shadow that will be casted underneath the product. So I'll head to the background folder and then pick the exposure adjustment layer and then tone it down here to create that stuff. Don't worry, I'm going to invert it, so I'm gonna make the changes when I invert it. So it casted like this. I'm gonna select the layer marks beside the exposure and then hold hot on my keyboard and then press I to invert it. Control on my keyboard and then press I to invert it. Sorry. Okay, so now I'm gonna pick my brush tool and then switch the foreground color from black to white and then increase the size of my brush or decrease it to how I want it to look and then paint around here like this to cast my shadow. Since the light source is coming from behind, to be casting the shadow in front down here like this. Yes. I'm gonna adjust the exposure a bit, darken it a bit here like this. I think I'll go with 6. I think 6, 5.9, 6. It's fine. So like this. Like this. Okay, so now that we've gotten our shadow done, I'm gonna push it further by double clicking on the max layer, and then I'm gonna push the further in like this to make the edges soft. So this will give the shadow edges make the shadow edges soft so that it feels more natural. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to achieve here. I think I'll go with 6. It's fine. Yes, so this is it. Okay, now that we have our shadow done, I'm gonna head back. Before then, I'll lock this background folder in place and then select back the perfume product, and then I'll head to the adjustment layer panel and then select the hue and saturation. What I'm about doing is to paint out the highlights that is casting behind the perfume product. So I just go to colorize, and then I try to match up the exact light color of the lights coming behind or casting or behind the perfume product. I think somewhere like it has some kind of a yellow feel. I'm gonna tone down the saturation down like this, and then push the lights further like this. Yes, like this. Okay, and then I'm going to select the layer mask and then invert it. Same shortcut, Ctrl+I on your keyboard, and then I'm going to change the blending option to linear dodge. Now with the layer mask selected, I'm going to select my brush tool here, and then I'm going to paint out the highlights on the product. So we're gonna go like this. Yes. Very gently like this. Okay. And gently like this. Okay. So now I'll select the hue and saturation. With it selected, I'll double click on it to bring the blending options, and then come down here to the underlying layer, and then hold hot on my keyboard, and then shift the slider here like this, so that it makes it more realistic. Okay, I think this is fine. So I'm gonna zoom out so you see the effect very well. Okay, so gradually our design is taking shape, and then now I'm going to put all this into one folder and then name it Perfume. I'll head back into my resource folder and then click and drag this snake or serpent image on my design. Adjust it here a bit like this. Same thing we did for the product image or the perfume image. We're gonna do the same thing for the snake image too, so that it blends well with the background. So the same procedure. We're gonna repeat the same procedure here. So first I'll duplicate the color fill adjustment layer by holding hot on my keyboard and click and drag it on top of it here like that. Create a clip mask. So it clips marks it on the distance, so you can see the difference. Yes. Also with the exposure, I'm gonna do the same. So I'm gonna select the exposure adjustment layer and then hold hot on my keyboard and then click and drag it on top of it like this, and then create a clip mask. Alright, sure. So but with this I'm going to revert it back so I can paint out the shadows on the snake image well. So with my exposure adjustment layer selected and then switching my foreground from white to black, I'll pick my brush tool and then I'll paint on top of it like this. gonna paint on top of it like this. Same way we did for the perfume product, same thing we're gonna do for this too. So the same procedure, following so gently. Okay, then go to my adjustment layer panel here. Click on the icon and then bring in the hue and saturation, create a click mask, and then try to match up the background color like we did for the other image. Same way, so we're just gonna find the yellow, tone it down a bit, and then push the lights to like 45. Yes, same I did for this. And then change the blending options to linear dodge. So I'm going to invert it, hold control on my keyboard, control plus I on my keyboard to invert it, and then zoom out, and then select the brush tool here, and then print out the highlights just as we did for the other one. I'm gonna switch it from the foreground from black to white. Then, so we can paint on top like this. Yes. Same procedure, gently till you achieve what you want. Yeah, and do same. So I'm gonna zoom out so you see how the design is looking. This is looking great. Yes. The same way we did for the perfume product, we're gonna double click it and then the underline layer, hold the Alt on my keyboard and then try and push the slider out of it just to blend it well. It looks more realistic. See the difference now. Yes. I'm gonna zoom out. Okay, so now we're gonna paint out the shadows for the serpent or the snake, same way we did for the perfume product, but then I'm going to place all this into one group and then name it serpent. I like the name serpent because it sounds more premium. Snake feels like a common thing everyone says. So alright, so I'll then paint out the shadows like we did for the distance like this. So we're gonna take our time and then do it gently and nicely. Okay, so now I'm gonna zoom out so you see the difference. Okay, so now the design is taking shape now. Okay, so I think I'm almost done with the whole design process. So I'm going to select the background folder and then lock it in place. I'm going to hold Shift, Control and Alt, then E on my keyboard to put all the design together, or to put all the elements together, so I can apply some color correction on it, or I can color grade it to push the the design further a bit, or to make it more professional and more nicer, to pop the picture, to pop out the elements or the textures in the design, and also to make the colors more popping. Yes, so that's what I'm trying to achieve here. So first I'll be playing around with the sliders here like this. Then I'll push the contrast a little bit. Highlights, make it like 5. Shadows. White, we don't need that. Bring out the blacks out like 8. Then we go to texture and then push the texture slider to like 15. Clarity to like 10. Then come down to color grading. So yeah, so here you can just play around with the colors here to your satisfaction, how you want the design to come out. So the shadows, I'm gonna push it all the green all out like this. Maybe come down to maybe blue. I think I'll go with the blue. Yes. Then mid-tones, play around with the green. And the highlights, and then we'll go with the orange. Feel like this. It's like this. Play around with the slider a bit, blend it at 60, balance at 5, then head down and then push the sharpening to like 20, then scroll down to calibration, then play around with the sliders here. I think we don't have red in this, so then play with the greens. Yes, little by little, there's something, not too much, just push it just a bit like that. Okay, so I think I'm satisfied with the results I'm having here, so I'm just gonna click on OK, so you could see the difference now. So when I toggle it off and on, you see the difference that brings to the design. Okay, so I'll just head to my resource folder and then bring in the perfume brand image, perfume brand logo. Double click on it and then make it white, and then take my Casira font, which is like an Arabian font, and then type in the black intense. Adjust it like this, and enlarge it a bit here, then place it somewhere here like this. So this is how I created this perfume product manipulation design. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to CodeoCube Studios, and stay tuned for more design tutorials like this. See you in the next one. Bye bye.